bit of scandal up here at the Ministry of Health. He was actually sneezed at by one of his own staff. Oh, don't laugh. This is serious. You see, there's a lot of notices around this place which say, if you must sneeze, sneeze into your handkerchief. Well, this chap hadn't got a handkerchief. His wife had used it for the baby. Now, all of us at some time or another emit air through the nose convulsively in consequence of irritation in the inner membrane of the nose, and we make a noise which is known as sternutation. In other words, we don't all sneeze. Of course, sneezing's all right if you sneeze into something, not into a face or a plate of porridge, but into a handkerchief. Do you realize every time we sneeze, we release 3 million germs? At least you do. I always carry a handkerchief. Ha ha, I've read the script. Here, I'll tell you something else. Presuming that half these 3 million germs are married, well, every time they sternutate, they have millions of little germs. Oh, don't laugh, this is serious. Now, the sneeze, as you know, comes down through the nose, or what we in the medical profession term the conk. Oh, pack it up, I'm doing my best. Now, there are many kinds of conks, each of which send out different kinds of germs. Let's take a look at conk number 1. Not you, Mum, I'll roll up. There we are. The aquiline nose, or what is commonly called the schnozzle. Now, this sort of nose shoots the germs straight down to the ground. They hit the ground, bounce off, and before you know where you are, you're taken by a pincer movement in the rear. Next, the snub nose, or what you might call the beezer. Now, this has a completely different method of attack. The sneeze germs are sent straight out like a lawn spray and attack all and sundry within spraying distance. There's a lot more snitches here, but I won't bother showing them to you because I expect you're all waiting to see the big picture. What's it like this week? Any good? Did you see the one last week where the fellow took the girl behind there? Askey. Now, all these sneezes are highly dangerous to public health. Now, let's look at the various types of sneeze to beware of. First of all, there's the depth charge sneeze. Now, this sneeze is almost internal and barely allowed to see the light of day. Now, here we see a peaceful suburban bridge game. At least it looks peaceful, but it isn't. Danger lurks. Take a look at that little man with the glasses. He has a depth charge coming on. That, of course, is a waste of time. That handkerchief should have been out sooner. Oh, put it away, you silly little man. As it is, he's spread 3 million germs round that bridge table. Not only that, but he's about to trump his partner's ace, which only goes to show what a proper twerp he is anyway. Now, the second type of sneeze to watch out for is the delayed action sneeze. Now, this is the sneeze that starts but doesn't come to anything until you've almost given it up, and then it explodes. In really crowded and overheated places like this, the danger of a sneeze is far greater. Here we find a lady who doesn't know she's about to become the victim of a delayed action sneeze. And here is the delayed action carrier. Watch him carefully. This should be his warning. He should have his handkerchief out and ready, because any minute he's going to be poleaxed with a real beaut of a sternutation. Stand back, everybody. It's coming. It's coming. Now, if I had time, I'd show you how that lady took the germ home to her children, who took it to school and gave it to the headmaster, who in turn gave it to his income tax collector, who, of course, was the one who really should get it. However, that might be all right in theory. But in practice, the great British public, even income tax collectors, are not to be sneezed at. My next exterior is a high explosive or table clearer. Watch him carefully. Every sneeze you sneeze is a hindrance to the war effort and a menace to public health, unless you sneeze into a handkerchief and catch those germs before they start to infiltrate.
Excuse me,
Certainly.
how could my sneeze impede the war effort?
Oh, the gentleman wants to know how his sneeze can impede the war effort. Well, I'll tell you, sir. Suppose you were the gentleman who was dining with that beautiful young lady you just saw. Chance would be a fine thing. But suppose it was you who sneezed. Well, now, let's have a look at that young lady a few days later at the factory where she works.
Bless you.
No, not bless you. Curse you. Look at the germs you've released. There they go, 3,000 germ parachutes. They're coming down the straight. I can't see them now. Can you, Captain Fauntwater? Ah, yes, now I can. Here they come round the bend. They've gone into a dive. They've landed. And they've taken their first base with a flank attack. They're pushing on. They've got the foreman now. I'll bet he's sorry he never went to France. By lunchtime, the whole factory has the sneeze germ. And there you have a picture of what your sneeze can do. And quite seriously, playmates, not only can it lay up workers and hinder production, but it can also spread tuberculosis, diphtheria, and spinal meningitis. So do remember, next time you want to sneeze, be certain that you do so in your... See what I mean?